Good afternoon. In the next few minutes, you will hear an Avon manager training a new representative. She will be using the Calling with Avon program developed for the 2-week campaign. In the scene that follows, the role of the manager will be played by Mrs. Josie Wayman. Mrs. Kathleen Mitchell will be our new representative. I am Lloyd Greer and will be the moderator. We will illustrate how the new booklets will apply in the appointment and training of a new representative. Throughout the training, we hope you will listen for the flow of ideas and the points of emphasis, rather than particular details, as one situation cannot cover all the possible variations, and you should put these ideas into your own words. Now let's listen in on our manager, Mrs. Wayman, who has just completed signing the contract and is ready to begin step 1.
Welcome to Avon, Mrs. Mitchell. You're now a member of a friendly and successful group of businesswomen. We have a wonderful group of representatives here in Centertown, and we're happy to have you with us.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Wayman.
Now, the contract we've just signed is a business agreement between two friends, you and Avon. Each has an obligation to the other. Avon promises a dependable product, and you promise a dependable service to the people in your territory. You can have complete confidence in our Avon products. We have our own unconditional guarantee, which means you can return or exchange any product not found satisfactory. As our representative, you are authorized to honor the Avon guarantee. In your first order, you will receive instructions that apply to this guarantee on all Avon merchandise, sold by you or sold by a former representative. We also have the Good Housekeeping seal and Parents Magazine seal. So you see, Mrs. Mitchell, you can always depend on the quality of all Avon products.
Oh, I know it. I've used Avon before, when I could get it.
That's the main point, Mrs. Mitchell. Avon will look to you for the same quality in the service you give your territory and your customers. As you pointed out, it's only through you, the Avon representative, that these people can buy Avon.
Yes, I understand that, but how do I go about it?
It's quite simple, and I'm going to give you all the help you need to be successful. But today, I'm going to tell you just enough to get you to learn how to succeed step by step. And today, we'll talk about how you take this first step. To begin, let's become acquainted with your Avon sales aids. First, here's your Get Acquainted portfolio. It holds what you need to take with you. Your free featured product is Bronze Glory, a new Avon tanning oil that's on special now during your first sales campaign. A campaign, Mrs. Mitchell, is a 2-week selling period when you call on people. Now here you have the fragrance demonstrator, which contains a vial of each of the major Avon fragrances for women. I'll show you how to use it in a few minutes. Every 2 weeks you'll get this magazine from the company. It's called The Outlook, and it's written especially to tell representatives about the new campaign and all about new products. And it gives you lots of successful selling ideas, so you'll want to read it carefully. I'll put it over here because you don't want to take it with you when you go out. Every campaign you'll receive new brochures. See? A brochure is a beautiful, colorful showcase of special prices and new products.
Oh, yes, it is lovely. I always love looking at the Avon brochures.
Yes, you'll get a different one each campaign, so you'll always have something new and exciting to show your customers. Now we're in campaign 6, so you'll sell from this brochure until Saturday the 10th when this campaign ends. You have 2 of these brochures. I'll put them right next to your portfolio, ready to take with you. Now here in this envelope are 2 new brochures for campaign 7. Don't use them until the 10th when campaign 7 starts. Now, any questions?
No, I think that's pretty clear.
Fine. Now this is your Avon catalog, a complete display and description of all our Avon products. Keep it in your portfolio, so you'll always have it with you to refer to. And here is your color chart. It shows all the different makeup shades, lipstick and eyeshadow and all, so people can choose from it. And your beauty book has answers to any questions your customers may ask. Read it thoroughly and keep it with you. And don't hesitate to refer to it in the presence of a customer. You can't remember everything. Your order book is where you write your customer orders. There's a tax chart here for your local taxes and a sample page with instructions on the back cover. Have you ever had any experience writing orders, Mrs. Mitchell?
No, I really haven't. But if all the instructions are there, I really won't have any trouble. I'll practice a couple first.
Fine. Here's the carbon paper in the back. The white original is for you to keep, and you give the yellow copy to the customer. Just fill in all the information it asks for. This campaign 6 ends on the 10th, so you'll have your orders back by the 17th. Plan to start your deliveries then. Now, do you want me to help you write a sample order?
No, I don't think you need to, Mrs. Wayman, as long as the taxes are all figured out on that chart.
As I mentioned before, Avon calls each 2-week selling period a campaign. At the end of each campaign, you send your customer orders into Avon and start selling in a new campaign with new specials, new products, and exciting new features. Now this is your company order blank. You'll use it to send your customer orders into the company and to order any products you want for yourself. I'll be back to see you next week and show you then how to fill it out. So don't worry about it now. All the instructions are right here in this folder called How to Prepare Your Order Blank.
If your schedule does not permit you to call back on her in 1 week, you might say the order blank instructions are right here in this folder. Write in your name and address, and I'll fill in your district number. Does that look clear enough? If she says fine, then say, good, the company will send you an account number and handle everything else in your billing. And of course you send no money with this first order. But if it is not clear to her, then explain what she wants to know. Now, back to our manager and representative.
Now I'll put your order blank aside. You'll receive a new one for each campaign. Here are your customer service reminders. These are your calling cards, your own personal advertising, Mrs. Mitchell. Fill in your name and address, and leave one whenever the lady of the house is not home. Now, have you any questions about these things?
I don't think so, but I'll go over everything again this evening, just to be sure I understand.
That's fine. And don't let them confuse you, Mrs. Mitchell. I know this sounds like a lot right now, but these are all just sales aids designed to make your work easier. In your first order, you will receive your beauty showcase. Attractive, lightweight, and large enough to carry everything you need. You will also receive a lipstick dispenser and 50 assorted lipstick samples for your customers to try. Every campaign, Mrs. Mitchell, Avon offers you a different group of products to show your customers at a very special price. We call them demonstration products because our representatives have found that the more products you show and demonstrate, the more your customers will buy. As beautiful as your brochure is, the customer seems more likely to buy when she can hold the product in her own hands or try it on. You order these demonstration products on your order blank a campaign in advance. On this campaign 6 order blank, you'll order the demonstration products you'll use in campaign 8.
At the conclusion of your introduction of the Avon sales aids, it is important that all these materials be organized in 2 groups, as suggested in your manager's guide. One for reference material to be kept at home, the other for use in the territory. If the representative is overwhelmed by the amount of material in front of her, you will be unable to return her attention to her territory.
Your most important consideration right now is your territory and all the people in it. This territory is the most important asset you have. Your earnings will depend on your territory and the time that you devote to it. To make your sales and build earnings, you need customers. and customers all in one convenient area. I've drawn a map of your territory here. You have one side of all the outside streets, Cedar Crest and Magnolia. That's the next corner to you, isn't it?
Well, yes, just a half a block away.
And Gundry and Harding streets, and all the streets inside. I've listed them here on this page.
Well, it is convenient, Mrs. Wayman. I live so close. But one question. What if someone outside my territory wants to give me an order?
Well, you don't want to waste time running all over Mrs. Mitchell. Send her name to me, and I'll see that the right representative calls on her. You see, you're not selling one very expensive item that won't be reordered. Your customers will order from you almost every time you call, but they'll order an average of $4 or $5. So you can see you need a lot of customers who will order from you every campaign. This is not a business of single customers. It's a business of many customers who live close together and buy regularly. That's why you don't go outside your territory.
Then you mean no one else will sell in my territory either. Is that right?
Yes, that's one of my first responsibilities, to protect your territory for you. Now, to go to work, start at one corner of your territory and decide where you want to start. What's most convenient for you?
Well, I think I'll start right here, on the corner of Magnolia.
Good. And when will you start?
How about tomorrow morning?
Fine. It's good to have a definite plan. This book in which I've drawn your territory is your territory record book. I've put your name on it. Your territory is a neighborhood of people, your customers. And the first and only thing you really have to be concerned with is to let all the people in your territory know that you are the Avon representative. This is your first step to success. We'll discuss other things at other times. But everything else follows this first step of calling on everyone in your territory. And when I come back next week, we can see how you're doing, and then I'll give you additional help.
Now that really sounds easier than I thought it would be. Just call at every home.
That's right. To meet the people in your territory, you need to call at every home. Introduce yourself and let everyone know that you are the Avon representative. Now, as you call, you'll find people who welcome you and buy. People who are not ready to buy now. They may be too busy, or they may never have used Avon. And you're going to find that some aren't home. But each call is an investment in your future, whether or not you make a sale. In your territory, you'll become known as the Avon representative. And each week, each campaign, you'll make more and more friends and more customers. As long as you keep calling, your business will keep growing. So you can see, calling on every home is the key to your success and your primary objective. When I come back to see you, I'll be particularly interested to see how many of the 260 homes in your territory you have called on, which you will have marked here in the summary page. The inside of your territory book is to help remind you of what happened on each call, to make it easier for you later. And I'll be working with you on those. But your first step is to what?
Call on every home in my territory.
Right. If you call on every home in your territory and record each call you make in your territory record book, you'll be off to a successful start. Getting acquainted with everyone is enjoyable, too. When you call at a home and a lady answers the door, just smile and say, "Avon calling. I'm Mrs. Mitchell, your neighborhood Avon representative. I have some exciting special offers on Avon products right now. May I step in and show you?" Or you may use the other approach written here. But learn one or both, Mrs. Mitchell, so that when you do call, you'll speak positively and pleasantly. And don't forget to smile. Practice your introduction. It's much easier to call on people when you know what you're going to say.
I surely will. This is all new to me, and I do want to say the right thing.
As you call and meet new people, enjoy yourself, and others will enjoy seeing you. Now, when a customer invites you in, find a convenient place to sit beside her, just as we are here, so you can share your brochure with her. Now, Mrs. Mitchell, your brochure is open. She is beside you, and you're all ready to take her on a shopping tour. But you turn the pages so that her interest will stay with you. Use your fingertip to point to the product you want to talk about. In this way, you will keep her interest on that product. Don't worry now about what to say about the products. There's a description under each one, so you can read it to her. When you come to the featured product you have in the brochure, bring it out and hand it to her. Invite her to try it while you tell her what the product will do for her. When you've finished discussing or demonstrating a product, ask, "May I order this for you?" Tell her that every Avon product is guaranteed. If she's not happy with it, we will exchange it for her or refund her money. Write each product she wants in your order book as she requests it. Thank her for her order as you leave.
Don't I have to know a lot more about these products?
Not now. You'll learn as you go along. You'll become an expert. Right now, just call on people and remember these points. Show your brochure. Let her try the product you have with you, and ask for the order. Remember, the most important thing these first 3 weeks is what?
I know, Mrs. Wayman. Meet everyone in my territory.
And now, to help you get acquainted with the lady who does not invite you in at this time, you can leave her your extra brochure and tell her that you'll be back tomorrow to pick it up. Or just hand her a customer service reminder. Smile and be pleasant so that she'll welcome you on a future call. If she's not home, just leave one of your customer service reminders. In this way, every home will at least know that Mrs. Mitchell is the Avon representative. And you're going to enjoy making new friends and building a customer list.
Yes, I really think I will. Sounds like fun.
It is. And every call is an investment in your future, whether the customer buys or not. When you mail your first order to Avon, you'll be getting in step with Avon's 2-week campaign selling period. And every campaign is new. You'll have a new outlook, new brochures, new specials, and new demonstration products to serve present customers and help you get acquainted with new customers. You'll have something new to show and talk about each time you call. Now, I'll put all this literature here in this envelope for you to read at home. And we'll pack your portfolio so it is convenient, looks nice, and you have everything ready to go out in your territory.
It does look neat, doesn't it?
Yes. As you said, you'll want to know much more about Avon cosmetics and selling methods. I'll teach you all you need to know through personal business calls here in your home. And you'll have Avon sales meetings where you'll learn with others. Besides making friends and having fun, we have films, we learn and discuss sales techniques and product knowledge. You belong to a friendly group of businesswomen who attend our regular meetings.
Now, when do you have the meetings?
Every other Monday afternoon. If I remember correctly, you said that was convenient for you.
Yes, it is convenient.
Fine. Now, many of our representatives have joined Avon through a friend's recommendation. Do you know anyone you would like to recommend? For each one appointed, the company gives you your choice of one of these beautiful gifts or a $3 check.
Well, I can't think of anyone right now, Mrs. Wayman. However, the other night at a PTA meeting, some woman was quite interested when I said I was thinking of joining Avon. I don't know her name, though.
Would you find out for me and telephone me tonight?
Well, I'll sure try.
Good. And here are a few dates to remember. I'll call back a week from today to see if there's any way I can help you. Will 9 in the morning be convenient?
Yes, that's just fine.
Our Avon meeting is Monday the 12th at the Willow Inn at 1 p.m. All right?
Yes, I'll be there.
Remember to mail your first order on Saturday the 10th and plan to start deliveries on the 17th. Now you're ready to take your first step. You have all the materials you need to start, the time each week to call on customers, your own exclusive territory in which to build your business, and the world's finest cosmetics and toiletries to offer. You need to call on every home in your territory and let everyone in your territory know you, Mrs. Kathleen Mitchell, are the Avon representative. Calling on every home is the first and most important key to your success. When you complete this step within 3 weeks, you will qualify for Avon's first achievement award, the Calling with Avon pin, just like the one I'm wearing.
Isn't that darling? And all I have to do is call on everyone in my territory within 3 weeks and I can have one. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, that sounds great.
Well, Mrs. Mitchell, I'm delighted to have you with us. And I'll be back a week from today at 9 a.m. Goodbye.
An uncomplicated and well-organized presentation of Step 1 is an art. Remember to keep it simple. The tendency to tell everything must be avoided. Present only what the new representative needs now and can enthusiastically accept. This should leave her confident and eager to begin her work.